That would that be okay? That is still the okay. Good afternoon, everybody. On this in Mumbai, it is a very warm and sunny day. In a good way. The air is cold, the sun is hot, so it's the perfect balance. But I'm be told just now that it's not so in Delhi. That it is like a like a sauna in Delhi, maybe. I am Toastmaster Arjun, the Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting, and I welcome all of you for the 83rd meeting of the Toastmasters Club of Storytellers. But before we officially start the meeting, I want you to know that this meeting will be recorded and shared amongst members for study and self-reflection. In order to have a smooth meeting, here are some ground rules that you all will follow. Please put yourself on mute when not speaking. Do not interrupt when somebody else is speaking. Be attentive throughout the meeting and support the speakers with your warm smiles and claps using the emoticons from the Zoom or your gestures in reality. For example, one thing that I learned in Zoom is that you can apparently applaud like this. And if you can't hear, like this is the sign where you can't hear, or if you want something to say somebody else. So these are all gestures. Also, please do not use language related to gender, religion, or politics that may that other people might not like. This is supposed to be a very inclusive and uh, happy place. Let me also reiterate Toastmasters mission statement. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which the members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With this, let's all have a great meeting. Now, please welcome our club president, Toastmaster Mehak, onto the virtual stage. Toastmaster Mehak, take it.
Thank you so much, Sergeant at Arms, for such a warm welcome. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 83rd session of the Toastmasters Club of Storytellers. And now I announce the meeting in order. Before starting the session, I have a small announcement to make. This is for all the new EC members to join the respective EC groups, the WhatsApp groups for the communication with the other club leaders and district leaders. Thank you. Once again, I welcome everyone to Storytelling Saturday. Today, I would like to share with you a tip on how to write a comedy script or a funny story, one-liners based on a strong storyline. There are recently some tricks of the trade which writers find useful. One of them being is the reversal gags or the role reversal. Okay, let's take an example. My wife and I have talked about divorce, but it's the children that have kept us together. I don't want them and she don't want them either. It's a type of role reversal where certainly it happens that the situation would have been like because the children like them be together, they have kept them together, but it is like the husband doesn't want the children after the divorce and the wife too doesn't want the children. So that's a kind of joke or a comedy or a one-liner that has been included. Let's take another example. When I was in 6th grade, I was madly in love with my teacher. Trouble was the difference in our ages. I was 23 and she was 19. Well, now could you see that both of the situation have a reversal gags or the reversal of what normally happens. That is the unexpected impact that gets the laugh. This is a useful tip for sketch writing. I'm sure you're going to use this tool for sprinkling some humor in your speeches and stories, etc. Well, for now, let's invite our guest on stage for the introduction. First, I would like to invite Toastmaster Jitendra to tell us something about himself and about how you got to know about the club.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jitendra Mishra, and I am also a Toastmaster. I am part of Toastmaster Club of West Delhi. And Deepthi has invited me to take a role of the table topic master. So that's how I'm here. And I'm very excited to hear some stories from the storytellers. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jitendra. And we are also very excited for your table topic session. Next, I would like to invite Toastmaster Sagar.
Hi everyone, my name is Sagar. I'm a part of the Gurgaon Raiders Toastmaster Club. And I always feel good when I find myself in the meeting of this club, and I'm looking forward for the future meetings as well. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sagar. It's our pleasure to have you here. Next, I would like to invite Toastmaster Gijendra.
So actually, Deepthi has invited me. I am a Toastmaster since past 7 years now. Previously, I was a member of Central Delhi Toastmasters. Currently, I am a president of Indian Online Toastmasters Club and immediate area director D2. So now the term is over. So I'm here to just witness the amazing speeches in terms of the storytelling. So let's looking forward for a wonderful meeting.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gijendra. Hope you like the meeting. Next, I would like to invite Toastmaster Rashmi.
Hello guys, good evening to all of you. Thank you for having me here. I am part of Hindi Toastmaster Club of Delhi, and one thing I want to include my speech is storytelling, and everyone fascinates stories, and that's why I am here. So thank you so much for giving me chance to learn something new. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rashmi, for joining, and I'm sure you will get some insights about storytelling from this meeting. Next, I would like to invite Toastmaster Uma.
Essential Toastmaster.
Toastmaster Uma, you are not audible. I guess she is facing some network issues. Let's invite Toastmaster Himanshu to give his introduction.
Thank you, Toastmaster Matt, for inviting me here. And also thank you, Deepthi, for inviting me for this meeting. I'm sorry I will not be able to start my video now, but in a while I'll be starting it. So in a while you'll be seeing my handsome face. So yeah, you can see my confidence and audacity to say something like this. And I'm looking forward to a great meeting this evening. Thank you so much, and over to you, Toastmaster Mac.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Himanshu. It's a pleasure to have you here. Next, we have Toastmaster Sarandha.
My monitor does not want to unmute, so I'm just struggling with it. Nice to have you all. Thank you for inviting me. Deepthi ji, thank you so much. And Sagar ji, it's a treat to have you here. Thank you once again. And आप बहुत दिन हो गए क्लब में नहीं आए, तो I'm inviting you in front of all. और आप सभी को मेरी तरफ से हिंदी टोस्ट मास्टर ऑफ क्लब में कल के लिए निमंत्रण. And I was here only to listen you all, like storytellers and an audience. But what to say, luckily or unluckily, captured here as a timer's role. So I am just looking for my background, what is in my laptop, which was sleeping from so many days. And I was just checking that, and thank you so much to inviting me here. It's my second meeting with you. First meeting was actually you were in a hybrid meeting and I was online. It was a combination of meeting last year. Uma Shankar sir invited me there, and it was so much fun, and so much fun because of your speeches and interesting way of talking. Thank you so much again, and all the best for you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sarandha. We wish that you like the meeting. Next, I would like to invite Toastmaster Anjana. Toastmaster Anjana. Okay, I guess she's facing some network issues. Let's invite Toastmaster Manav.
Thank you,
Toastmaster Mehak. Hi everyone, I will be the timer for today. I hope I'm completely audible. So as a timer, my role is to time different sections of this meeting. As you know, the meeting is divided into three parts. The first is the prepared speech section. The prepared speeches are 5 to 7 minutes, at which I will be alerting the speaker of time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards. I will be showing the green card, which is going to be on my background. So I would request the speaker to pin me or make sure that I'm visible when they're giving their speech. I will be showing the green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6, and the red card at 7. The second section of the meeting, which is going to be the table topics, I'm going to show the green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, red card at 2. The evaluation session, which is the third session, the speech evaluators are allotted a time of 2 to 3 minutes, at which point I will be showing green card at 2, yellow card at 2:30, and red card at 3 minutes. When I show the red card, any speaker, table topic speaker or evaluator has 30 seconds grace time to end their speech. Now, as Shakespeare once said, it's better to be 3 hours too early than 1 minute too late. Respecting others' time and making sure we get that discipline. Whenever I meet experienced Toastmasters, they're very particular about time. Not even a single second is above the allotted time limit. I hope that I get to see that in today's meeting. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Man.
Thank you so much, Manav, for introducing your role. Now, next, I think we have Toastmaster Jaspreet. Would you like to give your introduction, Toastmaster Jaspreet? I think she is facing some network issues. So now I think we are over with all of the guests. So now, without wasting any more time, let's invite on stage Toastmaster Arjun, our great dictator for the day, with a huge round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So today's topic is the Great Dictators. It is essentially my collected thoughts on politics and democracy, and always comparing it to a dictatorship, because we all know the drill of democracy. Every campaign season, all of these guys come and say the same thing. Everything good that happened in the last 5 years was because of us, and everything bad that happened in the last 5 years is because of them. Vote for us and we'll make the next 5 years good. Doesn't matter who they are. I mean, they all come in different flavors. They claim to have different ideals, different visionaries, role models, but essentially the campaign message is the same. Take credit for all the good, blame all the bad stuff on others, like kind of like God, to be honest. But and every time we also want some hope, big promises. We want big promises. We want the grand spectacle. The public wants to fall in love, and we want to believe. It is essentially kind of like a courtship, which we rationalize away as a decision taken out of logic and thinking when we cast our votes in the voting booths. But a few years down the line, again, we are back to the same old high petrol prices, high onion prices. And again, we just forget, like, how did this happen again? A cynical person would think that, they always intended to not fulfill their promises every single time. And, but I don't think so. I like to think that when they come to power, they actually genuinely thought that all that is required is for a sincere, honest, hardworking, intelligent person to come there, and then everything they can do. It's like us. Every New Year's, what do? We have all these resolutions, we have all these plans. Like, we are going to meditate this year, we're going to learn a new language, we're going to go running every day. But then 2 weeks later, what happens? Getting up at 4 a.m. to go for a run doesn't sound so good anymore. I mean, after all, we just read yesterday that sleep, actually we are supposed to get full 7 hours sleep, because otherwise then it will cause problems. So I think I'm getting more benefit by sleeping rather than going outside to run. And also our family and friends, they don't really like our New Year's resolutions, to be honest, like, because if you change, then they will also have to change, and subconsciously or unconsciously they don't want that. So they will also somehow hold you back. Your mother will deliberately try to feed you more if she notices that you're going on a diet, or maybe getting a little too slim, or your partner or your wife or husband or girlfriend, if you start becoming more attractive, then she will also have to start losing weight or whatever, or going to the gym or whatever, and there will be more competition for you, and so that cannot happen. So then subconsciously there will be more pizza, there will be more burgers, like just put inside the fridge, just accidentally, of course. This is all subconscious. And I feel the same thing happens to these people when they come to the power, where all these entrenched interests are there, and they realize how hard it is to get anything done. Like, getting even one thing done by the government is such a huge accomplishment. But now you're already in this throne of power, and you take the throne to act, but then the throne also acts upon you. Now you cannot go back to the ordinary life. Now you have tasted it. Now you will do whatever it takes to stay there. And all of the old ideals, this is my theory of politics, by the way, that anybody who comes there, they all started out as idealists, but once they get there, they realize, oh god, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And then its own logic starts operating. So now I'm giving advice for the person who is at this stage, where they realize that somehow or the other they have to keep hold of the throne, and how to get rid of the idealism as fast as possible, so that you can be as effective as possible in your game of holding on to power. Going on with the meeting, the agenda of today's meeting, of a Toastmasters meeting, is that there are 3 sections. There's a prepared speech section, and a table topic section, and an evaluation section. And the general evaluator will introduce you to all the sections right now. Over to the general evaluator, Toastmaster Deepthi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arjun. Thank you for bringing in the theme and inviting me on the virtual stage. Well, yes, today I'll be playing the role of a general evaluator. And as a general evaluator, I will be evaluating the entire meeting, right from the start till the end. And I'll be sharing my report or my feedback or my thoughts about what went well or what could have been done better for those speakers today who do not have evaluators assigned. So essentially, for a team of tag players, okay, role players who will be helping me with the evaluations today. Those are the ones whom I'm going to evaluate. I'm also going to evaluate the evaluators. So yes, I am the principal today, and one of those having a position in power, and one of those great dictators. So you might just want to give me an applause for that, since I am blending in the theme. Yeah. So yes, like Akbar had his 9 jewels, I have my team also with me. And my team primarily consists of tag. That's the easiest way to remember. T for the timer, A for the R counter, and G for the grammarian. Let me invite the timer for today's meeting, Manav Agarwal, on stage to introduce his role and describe it. Although he's done it in a few seconds back as well, but now is the logical point. And today, incidentally, we have 2 timers. Okay, Sarandha happily accepted 2 timers when Manav, there was certain delay in Manav joining because of another meeting. So we can have Sarandha as a backup timer. We request you also to keep a track of time. Thank you. The virtual podium for now is over to Toastmaster Manav.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. I'll quickly share my screen, and if screen sharing could be enabled, please. Can the host please enable the screen sharing? Thank you. So if my screen is visible, I'll go on with my second introduction. Fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, I'm going to be the timer for today. As role of my timer, it is to alert the speakers of time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards. Like I've mentioned, and Toastmaster Arjun also mentioned, that meeting are in three parts. First is the prepared speech session. Right here, it's 5 to 7 minutes. The green card is at 5 minutes, yellow at 6, red at 7. The second, which is the table topics, it's 1 to 2 minutes. I'll be showing green at 1, yellow at 1:30, red at 2. The evaluations, which is the third part, the speech evaluators have 2 to 3 minutes. I'll be showing green at 2, yellow at 2:30, red at 3. Whenever I show my red card, it means the speaker has only 30 seconds left to end their speech. Thank you, and I hand it back to Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you for a detailed picture with the timing report, not a report yet though, with the timing numbers, Toastmasters Manav. Thank you. Let me now call upon the R counter for today, Toastmaster Dipendu on the virtual podium.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. So here is the story of when Jiving Jimmy was appearing for an interview at Google for the role of a project manager. And the interviewer asked Jimmy, so Jimmy, how would you mitigate the risk of multiple team members taking an unplanned leave on the same day? So Jimmy started his answer. He said, well, John, what I would do is I would basically maintain an Excel sheet of the project deliverables, encapsulating the tasks of each team member and the impact it has on the final deliverables. You know, I would upload this Excel on a cloud-based platform so that multiple stakeholders, you know, can access it, and kind of provide all the stakeholders with a view that is relevant to them, so that they know where the project is headed and if there are any slip-ups. And the interviewer interrupted Jimmy and said, well, your you knows and kind ofs and ahs and nums don't make you sound very confident of the plan that you are stating to me, Jimmy. So I think you need to really think your plan through and come up with a concrete step-by-step action plan, so that I really know that you have some constructive ways of mitigating such risks. And Jimmy was not given the job. Don't you feel for Jimmy? You do, right? Wish Jimmy was working at Google. His LinkedIn profile would have shown through. So basically, when we are speaking in front of public, we could be giving an interview, we could be interacting with friends. It is extremely important that our speech or our presentation is fluent, so that we are able to convey our message in the most impactful manner to our intended audience. So as the R counter today, I would observe the R's and ums that the speakers might use during their speech. I would also notice for pauses, long pauses, short pauses, or no pauses. Pauses have to be smartly used, and you know, silence speaks 1,000 words, so intelligently used pauses can also add impact to your speech. I would also listen for crutch words or crutch phrases. So you know, the kind of, these are common crutch phrases that people use, and many more. I'm sure there infinite number of combinations of words are there, so there can be many crutch words and crutch phrases. I would observe these parts and these aspects of everyone's speech and come up with a report by the end of the meeting and share it with you all. Hopefully you will be able to take something back home and become a more polished speaker.
with the help of this accountant's report. Thank you. Back to Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Diptendu. Your story of Jimmy and John will stay with us for quite some time today. And you just gave us a very good example of what an eloquent speaker you are. Polished, full of poise. Thank you. We know we are in good hands. Thank you. Now I'd like to invite our grammarian, Toastmaster Sagar, on the virtual podium to introduce his role. Over to you.
A very good evening, everyone. Today I'm playing the role of the grammarian, and my role as a as a grammarian to listen to everyone who will come on the stage and or even speak a single word, and I'll keep a track of the good usages of the grammar and not so good usages. I'll keep a track of the notes, and I'll keep a track of the not so good usages of the grammar. And in the third section of the meeting, I'll come up with the commendations and the recommendations part. And apart from this, I have this responsibility to introduce the word of the day. And please allow me to share the screen. So the word of the day is audacity. As you can see on your screen, it's a noun. And the meaning of the word is to show the courage. To show the courage or confidence of a kind which other people find shocking or rude. And now I would like to recite some examples here. Examples are he has a and the examples are he has the audacity to blame me for his mistake. Another example is, with zero bank balance, you still have other and another instances with zero bank balance, you still have the audacity to ask a loan of the 1 crore rupees. And I will come in the third section of the meeting with the commendations and the recommendations part. And with this, I would like to hand over the stage to the journal evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sagar. We love the word, and we'll share what we learned from it in the evaluation section. We also have an active listener today. Let me invite our active listener, Toastmaster Mehak, on the virtual podium to explain what she will be doing in a part of her role. Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, for the day. Quick greetings, everyone. I am the active listener for the meeting. I will closely listen to what all things have been said in the meeting, and then will ask questions at the end of the general evaluation session. So keep listening, and back to you, Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mehak. So we have to have our thinking hats and our ears open, thinking hats on and our ears open. And with that, I hand over the virtual stage back to you, Toastmaster Arjun. Go on.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepti. So now you are in the position where you somehow have to hold on to power. And you find yourself that you need supporters, because the first rule of being a ruler is that no man rules alone. But that might tempt you to believe that you are supposed to make everybody happy. But that's not true. The corollary of this rule, that no man rule alone, is that you want to keep your support base as small as possible. In a dictatorship, this is very easy. You control the military, they control the population, and it's all very happy. You can completely ignore the whole population. And that is why there is such a big temptation in anybody who can be a dictator to become a dictator, because it is such an easy job. You only have to keep this one, the army generals happy. Maybe some priests will tell the poor, hungry, tired, or drunk population. For example, in Russia, the kings would deliberately subsidize the production of vodka to keep their population drunk so that they would be too intoxicated to revolt against the army or the kings. Or maybe you make the priests happy by giving them all kinds of perks and whatever, so that they keep telling the population and reminding them that God has ordained your rule upon this land. So in a dictatorship, it is very easy to keep your support base small. Just keep the military happy, or maybe the priests and some administrative people. But in a democracy, you may think in India, you have to keep 130 crore people happy. No, it's not like that. As a democratic leader, first of all, why did you become a democratic leader? It is literally the worst job on the planet. I always feel anybody who can be a democratic leader should, why will you have to be crazy? I mean, if you can convince a whole nation to do something, I mean, surely you can convince 1,000 people to become your followers and set up an ashram somewhere in the mountains and just live a normal, easy life. Why will you want to be, because all democratic careers will end in failure eventually. Like, there is no democratic career that has ended in glorious triumph. Okay, there is no retirement in that job. There is just failure. At the end, there will be an election that you will lose. Okay, that was an aside. But you cannot think in terms of people. You have to think in terms of groups. And you want to appeal, like, for example, the farmer group, the high income group, the low income group. Like, you have to divide up, and you want to maintain the as smallest people group that support you as possible. Because why? Because all of these groups want contradictory things. If you try to make every group happy, you will make nobody happy, and they will all be angry at you. So what you have to do as a democratic leader is to keep your support base as small as possible, just necessary, just barely enough to win elections. Because even then, even that smallest possible group is going to eventually bring you down. Eventually, even that, because the farmers group's demand will be in conflict with the private corporate group demands. The middle class salaried people want something else, and the poor jobless rural people want something else. The mandir people want one thing, the masjid people want another thing, the upper class block wants one thing, the tribals and the scheduled caste want something else. The government employees, they don't want to be efficient. They will be in conflict with the private sector. So even when in a democracy, even when you have done so, you will still eventually have contradictions, because you cannot have a coherent policy in a democracy. You always have to be like a round robin thing. Okay, make this happen, make this happen, make this happen. And eventually the contradictions of all these will make petrol prices rise and onion prices rise. Eventually it's going to happen. The game of your task is to maintain this jugglery as much as possible, as for as long as possible. So with that, we go on to our prepared speeches section. So my conclusion was, keep your support base as small as possible, which is eventually, even that is going to not succeed, but that is the first step. So with the prepared speeches segment, we go to the prepared speeches segment where people have prepared their speeches and they will deliver it. With that, we can go on to our speaker number 1, and to evaluate our first speech, we have Toastmaster Deeptendu, who will introduce the objectives of the speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arjun. Allow me to state the objectives of Toastmaster Lokesh's speech for today. So the purpose of Toastmaster Lokesh's project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. And as a project evaluator, what I will look for is that the member, which is Toastmaster Lokesh, is able to deliver a well organized speech on a topic and focus on his speaking style. And the improvements that I observe, the areas of improvements that I observe, will definitely be a part of my recommendations as in my evaluation speech. The speech could be of any type. It could be humorous, informational, or of any other style that Toastmaster Lokesh chooses. So with that, I wish Toastmaster Lokesh the very best for today's speech and hand the virtual stage back to Toastmaster Arjun.
So now I would like to introduce speaker Toastmaster Lokesh. Toastmaster Lokesh is an export consultant with 30+ years of experience. He is an active citizen of Delhi who also has a few projects or duties, as he likes to call them, assigned by the Delhi government. He was a shy person until he found his strength, as most, I guess, at least males do, that we found our strength as athletes or some kind of physical activity. Now he's a thought leader representing his country in the international business community. Please welcome Toastmaster Lokesh. Toastmaster Lokesh, looking forward, Toastmaster Lokesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arjun. Friends, I would request you to close your eyes for 10 seconds and think about a question. What is going to end or about to happen when the Russia-Ukraine conflict is getting over? Okay. Anybody would like to have the podium to share their thought? What the thought came into your mind? Anyone here?
Go down.
Okay, TM Rashmi. And then after that, TM Rajun. Yes, TM Rashmi.
NATO will move toward China, and the neighbor country of China, and the disturbance occurs in Asia part.
Okay, TM Arjun.
Oil will go down hopefully.
So what you have actually thought is, which I call is looking forward. You have understood that there has to be happening something. Russia will not end, Ukraine will not end, but there will be something which is going to happen. There will be some solution, could be bad, could be good, but there is some solution. And that I call is looking forward. And with my life experiences, I'm going to tell you that how did I look forward when I faced my failures. You must have seen my 3 questions in the guest group. The first question which I had was, did you fail to accomplish what you had hard worked for? I remember I was in grade 12 and I appeared for NDA. I was very keen to go on defense forces. In fact, my mother used to joke that, oh, I have 3 sons, so I can spare one for the army. So go ahead, and I will not object to it, which normally a lot of the mothers do. I had flying colors in my written test. I went for a physical test in Bhopal Academy. I also cleared all my physical tests, and however, to my shock, I wasn't selected. The reason given to me at that time was that I had an eye operation to remove my spectacles 2 years back, and at that time the armed forces had that law. Eventually they removed it a couple of years later, but at that time it was there, that I can't be a participative, or I can't join defense forces because I had this spectacle removal operation or surgery done on my eyes. That was really damaging for me. It's just like recently Agnipath has come in and a lot of people have their lives and hope shattered, that what will they do? That kind of feeling I had. What will I do? I had aspired for this, I prepared for this, and now I can't do it. However, I looked forward, and I relate to this another story from my life, when my mother and father shifted from a small village to Delhi. And on the day they shifted to Delhi with their all belongings and 2 kids, they were facing a problem of living in a very bad locality, and they couldn't even survive on that one night, but they found a solution. So looking forward is what I have seen from that perspective when I look back from my life. I eventually did my engineering. That also did not go well. Engineering was fine, but there was no job. Then I did my export diploma, and eventually I found myself to be very good in international marketing. And then there was no looking back. My message to you all is that once you have anything which you worked hard for, but eventually you might fail, don't look sad, or don't look back of what went wrong. Look forward, what you can do from here on. My second question to in the group was, what if you have gone bankrupt with ideas and are facing a blank wall of future? This happened with me when we were in 2008 and Lehman Brothers hit the economy of the global world. We had a couple of important clients which we were serving in the US, and they suddenly stopped business. In fact, they owed a lot of money in dollars to the factories. We were in very jeopardy situation, and the buyers had the audacity to actually ask us, why don't you guys go to the factories and talk to them that we are not going to pay soon, we are going to keep 6 months or a year for credit. While we were surviving, we were hardly surviving for ourselves because we didn't have any business now. Again, I did not look back, or I did not feel sad. I looked forward. What is the next way forward? How will we survive this? Till that time, till 2008, my 7 years of foreign travel was to North America, and that was the reason of our going almost bankrupt with ideas, because North America was in shambles. The economy was shattering. First time ever I went to Europe with the dedication that I need to find a new client. And at that time, Europe was the only market which had good economy, a strong, stable, good economy. Eventually, I got first of my client, which we survived that business because of that client for next 3 years. By the time America went back and the economy also came back, and we started doing business again. Again, this example of my business failure from that proved that there are always some ideas, there could be always some door in front of you which can be opened if you think and look forward. My third question to you all was at the time is, what if you are not able to get business and are on the verge of closing it? Do you have any way out to build the business again? Again, the story which I will tell you, in fact, it happened in 2014. I had a successful limited firm partnership with my 14 years of partner as friend, very close friend. He did something wrong in the business, and ethically wrong, which I could not accept, not my family could accept. It was something personal in his life. I went to the legal advisor and they told us, you need to stop this business today. In fact, you should not be going to the office because it's a criminal case, and you might also be going behind bars because of this wrongdoing in your business. I was completely shattered at that again. That how will I survive? How this customer base and then the staff of 22 people and an office and clients and vendors, how will I look? Suddenly I'm just closing my business and going away. I will be the talk of the town. We are celebrities of our business. Eventually, I sat down with my partner. Since it was 14 years of relationship, we found a way to divide our business. We almost started from zero, divided our company, divided our staff, divided our clients, and he still is on a talking term, but we are not doing business together. Again, I'll tell you this, the reason being looking forward. And that's what I am telling you all, guys. Whenever you are facing something in your life, it's difficult for you, please look forward and find solutions. Thank you very much.
I don't thank you, Toastmaster Parashar. I Lokesh sir, because I don't think I have heard a more real life inspiring story in Toastmasters ever. Thank you so much. Now I think we have our second speaker for today, Toastmaster Shravanti, and I would like to call on the evaluator for Toastmaster Shravanti, Toastmaster Anjana, onto the spotlight to explain the objectives of the speech.
Yeah, good afternoon, Toastmasters and dear friends. This is my pleasure to evaluate Toastmasters Monthly. She is delivering her L1 P3 speech and from BAG Presentation Mastery. And the topic title is Divided by Cousins, United by Biryani. This is a really very wonderful topic. I don't know how she is going to relate it with the title and what she is going to tell us. I'm really excited to listen from her. Over to you, Samyanti. All the best.
So Toastmaster Shravanti works in the software domain, and she's currently working with the software travel company. I think Expedia, if I'm not mistaken. She likes writing, cooking, eating, and she is also into fitness. So I would like to call, please check the audio video is working, Toastmaster Shravanti.
Sure, can you hear me?
So Toastmaster Shravanti, divided by cuisines, united by biryani. Divided by cuisines, united by biryani, Toastmaster Shravanti.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Tomorrow is Sunday, and I want to know what makes you all excited about Sunday. Any answers?
Attending Toastmasters meeting.
Good one.
Breakfast.
We have a sleeping in the chat. Well, for me, the most excited part of Sundays is biryani. So today, I'm going to give an effusing talk on biryani, a little history around it, and how they evolved. Some truths are painful, but we still need to accept it. Just like the fact that biryani is not originated in India. Yes, biryani is not of Indian origin. It's originated from a quite far away from Persia, which we now call it Iran. Even the word biryani is derived from Persian word biryan, which means fried before cooking. So, how did the biryani come from Persia to our plates in India? For that, let's go back a little back to 280 to know our first story of biryani. The earliest record of biryani was made in 280, which is way before the Mughals showed up in India. It is said that the Arab traders brought biryani to India's Malabar coast, which is the coastal line of Kerala. It was then called unsuru, which is made of rice, ghee, meat, turmeric, coriander, and pepper. Unsuru is still made in India's Malabar coast nowadays. The second and most popular story of all is Mumtaz, the wife of Shah Jahan. It is said that once, when she arrived and visited the army barracks, she found the Mughal soldiers very undernourished. So she asked the chef to prepare a combo dish that combined both meat and rice to provide proper and balanced nutrition to the soldiers there. And the result was, of course, biryani. Well, whenever biryani made its first entry, we Indians loved it. And we just didn't have it, we Indianized it. But Indian cuisine is not just a single cuisine. It's a collection of number of cuisines from all over the 29 states. And that is how different types of biryanis originated in India. Let us take a quick tour of 4 key Indian biryanis that I found. The first one is the famous and my favorite famous Hyderabadi biryani. No, I'm not talking about the Hyderabadi biryani that you can find in any restaurant in Delhi, Gurgaon, or any other part of India. I'm talking about that Hyderabadi biryani that you'll find only in Hyderabad. Because I believe that's where its true taste and flavors lie. So, what makes the Hyderabadi biryani so special? Well, there are a lot of things. The first one is that the raw meat is marinated with ground spices overnight to make the meat tender, juicy, and full of flavors. Then it's placed between layers of basmati rice infused with fried onions. And the vessel in which it is cooked is also different. The vessel is sealed with dough to trap the steam and flavors to retain the aroma. The key ingredients are green chilies, mint, and coriander. The biryani turns out very spicy. The next one and the second one is the Lucknowi biryani, which is also known as Awadhi biryani. This biryani is influenced by the Nawabs of Awadh, who are of Persian origin. This biryani is cooked in a unique style known as dum cooked. In the term dum cooked, dum means to keep the food on slow fire and cook means the process of cooking. Here, the meat and rice are cooked separately and then layered in a pot that is placed over low flame.
Some key ingredients used are saffron, ghee, curd, and herbs. One of the key differences it has from Hyderabadi biryani is that whole spices are used instead of ground spices. It is not as spicy as Hyderabadi biryani, but it is more royal and aromatic. The third one is Kolkata biryani. Kolkata biryani evolved from the Lucknowi style when the last Nawab of Awadh, Wajid Ali Shah, was exiled to Kolkata in 1856. His personal chef started cooking biryani for the Nawab there. But the less affluent families of Kolkata who could not afford meat started using eggs and potatoes instead. And that's how the Kolkata biryani has evolved from Lucknowi biryani. The fourth and the last one is Dindigal biryani from Tamil Nadu. The speciality of Dindigal biryani is it is made with a short grain rice called Siraga Samba rice, in which Siraga means short and Samba refers to the Samba season, which is from August to January, during which this rice is grown. Dindigal biryani is a spicy variant of biryani because of a lot of pepper is added to it. And I should say that the spiciness you get from pepper is a whole new level than the one you get from chilies. The Dindigal biryani also has a touch of lemon, which adds an extra punch. Other than these, we have another lot of biryanis in India. For example, Sindhi biryani, which has its roots from Pakistan, Memoni biryani from Gujarat, Bombay biryani from Mumbai, Ambur biryani from Tamil Nadu, Talasari biryani, which originated in Talasari, a town in the coastal Malabar region of Kerala. Apart from these, there are still many other types of biryani within India and outside India also. So, how do we find out which is the best biryani of all? Any answers?
The one that I can get within 30 minutes.
That is a nice one. Well, I say every biryani is the best, regardless of what spices you put in it, how much amount of spices you put in it, or in which kind of vessel you cook it in, or which kind of rice you use. Every biryani has got its unique taste and flavors, and that is what makes biryani so special. Biryani doesn't just touch our tongues, it touches our hearts. And I wish I have two hearts so that I can give one for biryani. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shravanti, for a speech that made me very hungry for some reason. Yes, I actually learned a lot. I didn't know there were so many. I only knew of Lucknowi and Hyderabadi. I didn't know of Kolkata biryani. So thank you for that speech. Now we have our speaker number 3, who is Toastmaster Mehak. And I would like to call on the evaluator for speaker 3, who is Himanshu.
Yes.
Toastmaster Himanshu Manocha, please explain the objectives.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arjun. Hello, everyone. My name is Himanshu Manocha, and I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Mehak's speech. Toastmaster Mehak, who is, as you all know, who is a newly elected president of this club and currently pursuing his her bachelor's degree in BCom. Coming to the pathway, she's presenting her speech on the pathways, that is presentation mastery, level 1 and project 3. The purpose of this project is for the members to learn and review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. I wish her all the best and go break a leg, Toastmaster Mehak. Now over to you, Toastmaster Arjun.
So this is a sound and audio check. Toastmaster Mehak, just do a sound audio check, audio video check.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. So Toastmaster Mehak, who is the current president of Toastmaster Club of Storytellers, is currently pursuing her bachelor's degree in BCom honors. She will be sharing her story of life and death. So Toastmaster Mehak, a sunset like oranges and flames like tears. A sunset like oranges and flames like tears. Toastmaster Mehak, take it over.
Help! I gasped for breath just when I heard them say, "Ma'am, we are on our way." People gathered outside our house. It was the beginning of a terrifying night because my house was on fire. Greetings, dear storytellers, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. Many of you have been trapped in a situation of fire. Okay, have you been trapped in a situation of fire with so many emotional fools? Oops, I shouldn't be saying this to my family. Being among the 10% of the population, I certainly am the privileged one who have got this opportunity. Do you want to experience my pain? So picture this. It's 12:30 at night. My sisters and I were having the best night out. Sam was listening to music. Dil gaya le gaya sanam. Sai was playing games on her iPad and I was watching reels. Oh my God, how exciting this all sounds. But our excitement did not last much because suddenly there was a knock on the door. One of our neighbors from the 4th floor came rushing downstairs, and what he said came as a shock to us. Fire, fire, fire! Call the ambulance! My mom. Ambulance? Oh, mom, he is saying fire ambulance. Oh. From the background, I heard my grandmother saying, Ki ho gaya, kaise lagi aag? What happened? What happened? Where is the fire? She quickly went out in the balcony to see what was happening. Till the time she went out, we decided to evacuate the building from the other side. We called her in. She froze there, standing, thinking of what her next step should be. Whether to run and save her life or to use the washroom. But she made the right decision. We all collected in the washing area. My father, being the macho man, thought of jumping from the building. And we, the cheerleaders of his life, were totally not cheering him up for his this decision. And finally, God appeared in front of us in the form of Bittu and Babbu, our two neighbors. They had bought a ladder in one of their hands, and with the help of that ladder, we landed safely in the open ground. Except my mother and grandmother. They were still hanging upstairs. I still don't know what kind of smoky party they were having together. Meanwhile, my youngest sister started crying. Come on, Sam, we have like enough drama tonight. Minnie, I want to go up again to mom. What? Period. Well, soon, all the members were safely evacuated. Fire brigade, as usual, was late. But I realized at the end of the day that we faced so many emotions, and it was the emotions only that saved the day for us that night. Life is not a bed of roses, nor is it a bed of thorns. Because how can life end with just a single kind of emotion when it has a roller coaster of emotions? Even research shows that a person experiences at least one emotion 90% of the time. And so, in that 1 hour, we only experienced thousands of emotions altogether. Be it the fear of losing everything, the joy of being alive, the confusion, the pain, the horror, the suffering, the anxiety, the grief, the patience, and the list goes on and on and on. Research has scientifically proven the fact as well that emotions can help us in the times of crisis. Well, emotions can help us avoid danger. Charles Darwin was one of the earliest researchers who scientifically proved that emotions can help us avoid danger. Emotions are an adaptations that allow both human beings and the animals to survive. He even conducted an experiment to show that emotions prepare the body to take action. Secondly, emotions can also prepare the body to take action, to make decisions. Research has found that experiencing fear increases the precipitation of risk. Feeling disgusted makes people more likely to discard their belongings. And feeling joy or anger causes people to leap into action. Your emotions have a major influence on the decision you make, from deciding to call the fire ambulance to deciding to evacuate the building. Thirdly, research also shows that emotions can motivate you to act. Studies even show that emotions increases the likelihood that you will take an action. When you are angry, you are likely to confront the source of your irritation. When you experience fear, you are more likely to flee the threat. And when you feel love, you might seek out a partner. Believe me, guys, nothing in life prepared me for what all happened that night. Yet, the fight or flight emotions kick in. It's easy to get lost in the chaos of the crisis. It's hard to focus. There are so many emotions occupying our mind. But the thing that remains constant is the emotion of love towards family, towards your own self, and towards living life. In the end, it was the emotion of hope that I was able to see the rising sun with my family alive the next morning. I shall long to see the miseries of the world as long as I am powerful enough to face all the emotions. Storyteller of the day.
Wow. That was a roller coaster of emotions, Toastmaster Mehak, to convey what can be a tragic story in a funny way. That takes something. Now let us take 2 minutes for everybody to give their feedback to all the three speakers in private chat or however. Also, can we launch the polls for best speaker right now, or are we going to do it at the end?
So we can do it right now.
So feedback, anybody who wants to give feedback to the speakers, right now is the time. And the polls will also be launched.
Yes.
Is that why Toastmasters Mehak house is different now? Did this happen recently, this fire? Yeah, that is what. In the beginning, her house did not have so much in background stuff.
House is same. We are all safe. It was in the parking. Now it's all okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I have a Google form that the link for which I'm going to paste in the chat window. The form is prepared for all the role players of the meeting, but I would request everybody to only choose the best speaker. As in just answer or just vote for the best speaker.
Yeah. And again, reminding, just take a minute to give feedback to all the speakers, Toastmaster Lokesh, Toastmaster Shravanti, and Toastmaster Mehak.
Toastmaster Dipti, I didn't see any link on the chat.
Yes, here it goes. 3, 2, 1. Now you can
Thanks.
see. Yes. Please access it and give me a thumbs up. Guests are also welcome to vote. Waiting for more votes. Okay, 2 more votes to go. Just Waiting for 2 more words and I'll end the poll in the next, at the countdown from 5 to 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Received. Thank you. Polls are done for the best speaker.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepti. Now we come to rule number 2 of being a ruler, or at least, like, you have to understand that divide and rule is really the soul of a democracy. I mean, we like to think that divide and rule ended with the era of the British, and we always talk in terms of this divide and rule politics only in the context of the British. But you think, like, you are an ambitious young fellow and you have seen that you are not treated as nicely as you want to be treated by the police, by other people, by your relatives, and you decide, no, you want to be somebody in life and you want to become something. And you see that the most respect is given to the people who are in power, and you decide you want to seek power. And you also notice that the current ruler who is there, he's getting too generous. He is very equal and he's very fair and very statesman-like. And he's carelessly distributing resources to all the people. And you, as an ambitious young fellow, spot this opportunity. You can decide that, you know what, this is not going to happen. Like, you identify that 30 or 40% of the population which wants all of that resources for themselves, and then you promise them, if you make me the voter, I will make sure that all of this that this current fellow is wasting on everybody, I will make sure that all of this gets spent on you. And then that is how, that is the only thing you can do. You can only take away from his support base by carving out one section for yourself and promising them that whatever he's wasting on these other people, I will give only to you people. And how do you do this? By dividing and ruling. I mean, that really is the soul of a democracy. We don't think, like, just think in terms of what would it be like if our offices and our organizations, internal corporations, were run on a democracy. Like, it would be mayhem, because somebody would promise 30 leaves per year, and then you would promise 31 leaves per year. Somebody else would then go 32 leaves per year, and so on and so forth. With that, I will now move on to the next section of our meeting, which is the table topic section. And our table topic master for today is Toastmaster Jitendra Mishra. So Toastmaster Jitendra Mishra, please take over the stage.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. And can someone please confirm if I'm audible? Perfect. So my dear storytellers of Toastmaster Club of Storytellers, do you know, you can't prepare all your speeches and talk in your life. However, you can prepare yourself to grab all the topic master, who's going to give you some thought-provoking questions. And also, as I'm at Storytelling Toastmaster Club, so I have some different story hook lines. So that means if you want to check your storytelling skills, you can definitely pick those topics. And if you just wanted to check your impromptu speaking skills, you can pick some questions which I have prepared for you. Two ground rules that I would like to reiterate. First, your time will be 1 minute to 2 minutes, and there will be 30-second grace period on upper side only. And the second, and very important, that in this segment, even guests are also welcome to participate. So to start that, and let me tell you, I have total 9 topics, which is based on the questions, and I have 4 topics, which is the hook line of the story. So whatever topic you would like to choose, you are welcome. So let's start this table topic session. And I'm looking for my first volunteer. So who is going to take this virtual stage? Who is my first volunteer? I can see hand raised by Savitri, right? Okay, so thank you for taking this opportunity, Toastmaster Savitri. So what would you like to choose?
Shravanti.
A topic? Shravanti. Thank you for correction. You would like to pick a topic, or you would like to pick a hook line for a story?
Sorry, can you explain what is the hook line for the story?
So in this hook line, I will pick one line from a particular incident. For example, he was supposed to be a table topic master, but unfortunately, there was no light since morning. So that was your hook line. And you have to pick and then create a story.
I can pick the topic.
Oh, that's great. So your hook line is, she was very happy. And when she opened the bag, she found it was full of 1,000 rupees note.
Sorry, but can you please repeat?
Sure. So your hook line is, she was very happy. And when she opened that bag, she found it was full of 1,000 rupees note. Over to you.
Well, there is a girl who went to shopping. Maybe who went to shopping and her bank account has 20,000 and she loves to shop. Literally, she loves to shop. So she has gone to a shopping mall and she started looking at different clothes, and she tried all of them. She tried all of them and she picked some, and she liked many of them, and she went to the counter and she has taken those clothes to the bill counter, and the bill has came to 10,000. And then well, she felt guilty that she has spent too much on the dresses, and she promised herself that she's not going to buy any dresses in another 1 year. And then she was very guilty that she thought she'll cut down her expenses and make that 10,000 and get that 10,000 back by cutting down her other expenses. Well, she tried very hard. She literally tried very hard. She stopped eating outside. She stopped going to movies. She stopped shopping as she has promised herself. And one day when she was going on a road, she found a bag. And when she opened that bag, she found a bag full of 1,000 rupee notes. And do you know what she did? She went straight to the shopping mall again to start the shopping again. Thank you, and over to your table topics master.
Wow, what a great attempt. Thank you so much for being a very courageous. So one thing that we all can learn from this topic, that in any situation, either you consider that situation as a challenge or you consider that situation as an opportunity. So our first table topic speaker has considered that a situation as an opportunity. So that means she is a kind of positive thinker person. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Shravantri, for sharing your quick story. So who is my next volunteer? I can see Toastmaster Lokesh Parashar hand, right? And so Toastmaster Lokesh Parashar, are you ready?
Yes.
You're great. And what would you like to choose, a topic or a hook line?
A hook line.
Okay, great. So here is your story hook line. It was around 1 a.m. and someone knocked at her door.
as soon as I heard that doorbell as a neighbor, it surprised me. She should not have any of her visitors or relatives at 1 a.m. Her family is away and she's alone. Even my dog started to become uncomfortable and started to bark. I literally went out of the balcony to see who had rang the bell at 1 a.m. at her house. To my surprise, it was their friends who wanted her to be picked up for an early morning drive to Manali. Although did she mention that earlier in our conversation a couple of days back that she will be going out for a holiday with her friends, but I never realized that people can actually come at 1 a.m. to pick up their friends. But it was obvious, and as soon as I saw she came out and she went, she hugged everybody, and I could see from my balcony. I felt comfortable. Even my dog also felt comfortable that okay, everything is nice, everything is good. There's nothing to panic about. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Lokesh Parashar. So being a storyteller, it's very important that we understand what is our position and role in any story. And you have must seen that the Toastmaster Lokesh has immediately identified his place as a neighbor of that girl. So that is amazing thing that you have showcased us. Thank you for teaching this. Now I would like to request our next volunteer. Do we have any guest who would like to participate? I can see a couple of hands. Toastmaster Uma Singh, Toastmaster Rashmi. So who would like to go first? Toastmaster Uma, would you like to go first? You have to unmute yourself if you are speaking. Or we can move to our next table topic speaker, Toastmaster Rashmi.
Let her speak first. I think she's unmute.
Okay, Toastmaster Uma, are you able to listen? You are not audible, Toastmaster Uma. Still, I'm not able to hear you. So by the time you are fixing your audio, can we move to our next speaker to save some time, right? And we have our speaker, a Toastmaster Rashmi with us. Rashmi, you are ready?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So now we are left with 2 and 9 questions. So which would like to pick?
You choose.
Okay, so I would like to offer you some questions. You have to pick number 1 to 9.
1.
1, right? Okay, thank you. Okay, that's the funny one. So your topic is, you have been given an elephant and you can't give it away or sell it. What would you do with this elephant? Got the topic? Okay, perfect.
Wow, what a wonderful surprise. I've got an elephant, a real one. Not an imaginary, not a toy, not a wooden elephant, but a real one. And I would love to be a fan of it. Elephants are very remarkable animal. It is very humble in nature, and it respects its owner and always ready to help its owner. And no, don't think I will be its owner. I will be its friend. I will keep make him my friend, and I will give him a name. It would be my honor to give him a name, and for sure I will give give him a name like Jumbo because it is very familiar to me. And Jumbo is very energetic. I will teach him some painting because I saw in Discovery Channel once long back that an elephant was painting and it was very wonderful. And I will publicize this painting and for the collection of money, receiving money, I will spread awareness towards these animals, what is happening to them, how harsh we are treating these animals. I'll make sure and spread awareness, and I will be aware. I will make myself aware of these animals because these are not just an animal. These are also a living being. They are deserve same treatment that we are receiving. And that's it from my side. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing a wonderful friendship story between a human and animal. And it is reminding me the Hathi Mere Sathi movie, kind of. So here what we can learn from our speaker, Toastmaster Rashmi. She has very get connected with the emotion of the topic. So topic was gift, and she has started with, wow, I'm very happy. So the moment she has connected with the emotion of the topic, she has made some point. So thank you for sharing your thought process. Now I would like to, I think our timer, you would like to participate, or you are giving me some indication for timing? You would like to participate, right?
Yeah.
And
you
who
are
will
managed
help? So who will help us with your timing?
I can do the timing myself. I can do the timing.
My God. A Toastmaster, we are many hats. Okay, so what would you like to choose? We have 2 story hook lines and we have 8 topics.
I'll take a topic.
Okay, perfect. So out of
7.
2 to 9, which point?
7.
7. Okay, let me find out 7 for you. Okay, here is your topic. Okay, that's the interesting one. What's your favorite line from a book or a movie, and why?
Fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, I have been one of those people who religiously watches TV shows. I have been reading books since the childhood, but TV shows were it. They do not require a lot of effort. I can watch that. I can watch them using while eating popcorn as well. One of such favorite shows is Blacklist. Anyone who's watched Blacklist, location, Blacklist, and one of their key characters, James Spader, he's impeccable. In storytelling, when he tells a story, you'll be mesmerized and you'll flow away with it. He's got such a soothing tone. If you watched Avengers, he was the character playing Ultron. So he's got a very soothing tone, but at the same time, very scary. So I remember him saying this one line once he got once he was very frustrated, once he was very angry, he just went up to the next person and said, however dangerous do you think I am? However bad do you think I am? When it comes to someone I care about, you cannot possibly fathom how deep that well of mine truly goes. And that was a line which the intensity and the depth of his voice really brought out goosebumps. So that one line, I've tried using it many times. I've still not used it correctly. It is my objective to use this line correctly and make sure I scare someone. Thank you. And back to Mr. Tabletop.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mano, for picking this difficult question quickly. So here what we can learn from our table topic speaker Mano, that during table topic, it might be possible that sometime you received a topic which is quite difficult. So it's always okay to close your eye, spend 5 to 6 seconds to think about the topic, and then start with a bang like Toastmaster Manav has done today. So thank you for that. And also please confirm me that how many topics we can take.
I think we should maybe one more, but
okay. Okay. So it will be last topic, and we have 2 story hook lines, and we have a lot of questions. So who will be our next speaker? Is anyone, if anyone is raising hand, Adipti, can you help me with that? Because
Yes.
I'm on phone.
No problem. Uma Singh.
Okay, Uma. So if you are ready, what would like to choose? A question or a story hook line? I'm still not able to hear you. Seems like there is some connectivity issue from her side.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. But there is a echo.
Anything.
I can hear an echo.
Is it better?
Toastmaster Uma. Yeah, now it's better. So what would you like to choose, a topic or a story hook line?
Anything.
Okay, so I would like to give you a story hook line. So your story hook line is, she picked call and found an old lady was crying other side of phone. Over to you.
This is a story about my friend. She, in the middle of something she was doing urgent, there was a call on her phone, and she picked up the call and found that on the other side, her grandmother was calling her, and she was in pain because she fell down from stairs. So she was really in fix, couldn't think of anything because she's in a different city and she doesn't know anybody there who can immediately come to her help. So that was a very strange situation, very disturbing, but she managed somehow on the Facebook friend of her Dadi's locality and talked to her and told her about everything. And meanwhile, being this, today's world, everything is online. So she could manage and talk to some emergency numbers and ambulance, and she can arrange help for her grandmother. Meanwhile, she could fly back to her place and look after her. So the story I am telling you is, in today's world, being online is a great help and bliss for all of us. So we should use it to the maximum and feel that we are in this era of life. We can physically being present without being physically available, we are still available for each and every person around our family and friends, of course. Yes. That's what I think picked a call and did whatever possible could be possible in that kind of a scenario. So that's all I want to say about this story.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Uma. And 2 things which we can learn from Uma's speech. First, that in your story, it's always important to identify some characters, which she has done, her friend's story, her friend's mother's story. And the second and very important is that even if you have been given a negative situation, someone was crying. So how you are converting that negative situation to the positive outcomes, this is a job of storytelling. And this is what we have seen in her speech. So kudos to Umar Singh for sharing your story. And with that note, I would like to conclude this table topic segment. And at last, I would like to remind the same statement which I have started, that you can't prepare all your speeches and talk in your life. However, my dear storytellers, you can prepare yourself to grab all the opportunity in your life to tell your story while participating in table topic session. So keep participating and keep inspiring this one. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jitendra, for that very lovely table topic session. Very calm and very soothing. It is a very rare quality. I appreciate that a lot, because I have always tried to have a voice that can be like a background soothing voice, and you have that. I mean, if you read a book, I would very love it. I would play it because it is a very soothing voice, and I appreciate that a lot. Because I think I don't have it, and I've been working towards, and I still am not there.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So now we come to rule number 3. I have to hurry up because we are like running short on time, I think. So rule number 3 for a ruler is that careless generosity is bad for health. Or put another way, a politician who stays poor is a poor politician. You may think, like just a question, just a quick poll. Which country do you think has the best primary school education system in the world? Is it A, Norway? Is it B, North Korea? Is it C, Democratic Republic of Congo? Or is it D, United States?
Norway or Finland or any Scandinavian country.
Yes, you would be wrong, because the best primary school system is apparently for North Korea. Because the leader of that country has recognized that he needs his people to be very well educated up till the primary level. And beyond that, he doesn't want any education beyond that, because you need some basic education to be able to work on the fields. And if you educate your people too much, then they'll start rebelling, and they'll start having food in the system, and they will be able to organize themselves. Another thing, if a poor developing country with a lot of economic and political instability and a lot of economic problems, if they discover oil or gold in their country, just a quick poll, what do you think? Is it good for the country and its people, or is it horrible and the worst thing that could happen to a country and its people?
Good.
The country will be invaded, definitely. So bad.
Okay, so we have seen time and again, right, in the modern era, a lot of countries which have no resources are amongst the most successful and prosperous, like Switzerland and a lot of European countries, which are very, very poor in natural resources. So what their rulers have to do is invest in the people. They have to provide good education, good primary education, secondary, tertiary, and their wealth is in the institutions. So they are incentivized to have a very good, nice healthcare, because their wealth is in their people. So if they want to be rich, they have to invest in their people. On the other hand, you have countries like the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is so rich in all kinds of wealth, so rich. Nigeria and Venezuela and all these things, they are just torn apart by the resources. Because if you have resources in a country that is not stable, there are a few countries that have done good with the resources, like Norway, for example, and Finland. They take all the oil money and they spread it as a social welfare scheme. But in most cases, finding oil in a poor country is a curse, is the worst thing that can happen to it. Because why? Because now the rulers of that country don't need the people to be wealthy. All they need to do is call upon some outside people, drill the oil, and build a good airport, railway network from the minefields to the ports or airports, and then that's it. Like, all the other people can be starved. So finding oil is also, all rulers really know that careless generosity is going to be bad for your health. And China is kind of an exception. Like, North Korea has adopted the strategy of keeping their citizens poor, weak, and ignorant. but China keeps their people fat, happy, and that's how they keep them suppressed. I don't know. So with that, I think we can go on to the evaluation section, the most important section of our Toastmasters meeting. And for that, I would like to call upon our general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Deepthi. Toastmaster Deepthi, please take the stage.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arjun. So before I begin the evaluation section, I'll paste the polls for the best table topic speaker. Allow me a minute to copy the link. Again, like before, I would urge everybody to only fill out the section with the heading of best table topic speaker. So here is the form. Once you're able to access the form, please show me a thumbs up. Okay, thank you. Okay, team, I need more votes, please. Yes, most welcome to vote. Two more to go. Okay, I will end the poll with a countdown to 1, starting with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Okay, and now coming back to the role of the general evaluator. Well, thank you. We've had a very fruitful session. So the first things first, let's start with the speech evaluation. I would like to invite on stage our first evaluator, Toastmaster Diptendu, for evaluating Toastmaster Lokesh's speech.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. So, ladies and gentlemen, today you must have noticed that Toastmaster Lokesh started the speech with a topical subject, that of Russia-Ukraine war. Not only that, Toastmaster Lokesh also engaged the audience with a thought-provoking question right at the beginning. And I'm sure some of you do remember that the question elicited insightful response from the audience. Therefore, as far as hooking the audience's attention is concerned, in the first 30 to 40 seconds, I would give Toastmaster Lokesh a 10 on 10. As Toastmaster Lokesh continued with the speech, he narrated a few personal incidences, not stories, but incidences. From the rejection at NDA to talking about his parents, about the failure at engineering, and finally came the pivot, wherein Toastmaster Lokesh found success as an export consultant. Now, as this speech transitioned onto a personal journey and onto personal stories, it felt to me as if he, Toastmaster Lokesh, is taking me on a journey of his life and telling us about his life experiences. That added authenticity to whatever Toastmaster spoke for the rest of the speech. But as I was keenly observing and listening to the speech, I heard a statement from him. Toastmaster Lokesh said, "My message to you all is so and so." Even before the green card was flashed, Toastmaster Lokesh said a statement related to message. Now, when we are delivering a story or a speech, we have to consciously structure our speech such that all the messages are reserved for the conclusion of the speech, something that we can think about. We continued with the speech. Toastmaster Lokesh continued with the speech. Now I rate the EQ of the speech as the most important part, the emotional quotient. at the second position, I would place the IQ, the intellectual quotient, the content, etc., the story and characters. And I would place the language at the third position. But language is still important. After all, if tea is made with salt instead of sugar, you wouldn't enjoy it. So I heard a phrase from Toastmaster Lokesh, very Jeopardy situation. So this phrase itself was not correct. Probably he wanted to use the word jeopardy. So the Toastmaster Lokesh could have said that I was in a dangerous situation, or I was facing a jeopardy. My business was facing a jeopardy, something like that. But at the same time, there were a few very good usages of language as well. He stated a phrase: North America was in shambles and the economy was shattering. Shambles and shattering, using the same using words starting with the same alphabet and adding to the emotional, it had an emotional hit. Shambles and shattering, you could feel the destruction that was happening in North America. So yes, there were good examples of language as well. Finally, I would like to say that although the speech revolved around the 3 questions which Toastmaster Lokesh posted in the WhatsApp group, he could have very well avoided saying that he posted it in WhatsApp group. After all, he did come to the question. The structure of the speech was crystal clear and easy to follow. The message was effectively delivered purely because it was derived from hardcore personal and professional experiences. So Toastmaster Lokesh, wrinkle-free shirts don't need to be ironed, but we have to go that extra mile. So keep ironing out wrinkles with every speech and inspire the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dipendu, for that beautiful on-time or in-time evaluation.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on, let me invite Toastmaster Anjana to share her evaluation for Toastmaster Shravanti's speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepti. Divided by cuisine and united by biryani. Wow, very good topic. And topic in itself is very catchy for the audience. So even I wanted to hear from the speaker that what she is going to explain. The purpose of the project is to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-researched and organized speech on my topic. So speaker has done a research on biryani. She started by asking a question. So to hook the audience, this is a very basic thing, how you hook the audience. So that our audience is very interested to listen from the speaker's mouth what she or he wants to say. When he asked what you all want to have on Sundays, then I'm sure everyone could feel, everyone wanted to answer it. Hey, I wanted to have this, I wanted to have this. And when she started saying that, okay, biryani, I want to have biryani. So that was also really very good thing. But to my surprise, when she started saying that biryani is not originated in India, I was also wanted to listen from where, because for me, it is a dish of Nawabs from Lucknow. So I was very much interested to listen from where it is originated. And she explained, and she has thoroughly researched the topic, that it is originated from Persian country. And I was really surprised to know that it is created and invented in some other country, and we are all using in India only. And when she explained that different varieties of biryani, and I felt mouth watering, and I wanted to have tomorrow on Sunday, I'm planning to have biryani. So that is what the thing is, when you choose a topic, which is the interest of all audience wants to listen it, then that is a catch. But the thing is how you are going to deliver it. It should not be boring. It should be interesting. And though the speaker has tried, with her experience, she tried a lot. A smile was on her face. There was a clarity in the voice. Audience was aware as they were responding to her questions. But I guess she was reading some PPT. I realized that when she came closer to the camera and just to change the PPT, and that what I felt. So here I want to give 2 recommendations. One, you need to work on voice modulation and some body movement. When you spoke about that, oh, the aroma of the biryani, then you should give the feeling of by your expression on the face so that everyone could feel it that as if they are having it right now. And you should work on some expressions and voice modulation. Lemon biryani, you can just squeeze the lemon so that everyone could feel it. Maybe you could display one slide of all the types of biryani so that you can use that time by saying some interesting story. To summarize, a really wonderful research on biryani about which we were not aware and interested to hear from you. You tried adding spices to it, and I am thinking to have it tomorrow. You explained how biryani is divided as a cuisine and united by biryani. But you should end it by saying the topic again so that people would take it away. All the very best for your future endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anjana. I'd like to now invite Toastmaster Himanshu for evaluating Toastmaster Mehek's speech.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepthi. Hope I'm audible. Right. Splendid, maestro, eloquent. No, these are not the words, but the right choice of words to be used for Toastmaster Max's speech. With the confidence, with the kind of confidence she started the speech, I definitely agree and I should definitely use these words. Now, coming to the highlight of the speech, she started the speech with enacting the situation, and that immediately grabbed the attention, right? And she not only grabbed the attention with that enacting, but also throughout the speech, she was kind of grabbing the attention. For example, she was like, hey, then she walked and they called the ambulance. And the audience was like, oh, then after that, what? And after that? So audience was quite engaged with the whole story. So that was a great commendation for Toastmaster Mac. Now, coming to the next one, which is storytelling ability. Toastmaster Mehak, as I already said, that she grabbed the attention. So definitely she had that storytelling ability. She used the props in between the speech. So again, a good gesture, good way of presenting the speech. Speech title itself was intriguing. So again, a good job done there. It also included the quotes, which in turn, kind of connects people when we are, using any kind of quote or story, and a story with a quote automatically engages the people. Now, coming to the window of improvement, somewhere in the middle, I could find that overuse of uses of hand gestures. Now, for example, she has used macho man, and she has used she walked. So she walked is something like she walked. Or I think personally, I believe that somewhere in the middle, if you're using, I mean, the hand gestures, which is not required sometimes, you should not use it. Also, as a speaker, I would like to suggest that don't decide gestures in advance. For example, you said only thing which is constant, and that is love. So what you have just presented is only thing which is, you already said that love, because you already knew that this sentence, this is the thing which you are supposed to present in the speech. So I would suggest be organic as possible in the speech, so that these hand gestures are quite natural. And audience engagement could be increased using some questions to the audience. Though I know it was a storytelling, it was based on a storytelling thing. Now, in the final run, I would like to say that this particular speech was well organized, well engaged, and speaker was filled with confidence, with energy, and she engaged with the props, quotes, and everything. And food for thought also was included in this. That is, emotions, how emotions help us, our body from danger, how do we take decision making skills, how to work upon how to act particularly. So these are the things which I could notice or highlighted with her speech, and I would like to say good luck to Toastmaster Mac for the incoming speeches. Over to you, Toastmaster Diti.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Himanshu. With the evaluations done, I want to ask Toastmaster Manav, were all three of them within time limit?
Actually, neither of them were in the time limit.
Okay. Then Toastmaster Dipendu, may I still take permission of the quorum here and go ahead and ask for voting, at least on the basis of content?
Certainly, we can go for worst evaluator for the day.
No, we will have best evaluator, but
No,
then
no. Yeah, since I mean, it should be equal and fair. So since none of us adhere to the time limit, in that way also it's fair.
yes, sure. So thank you. I share the Google form right now. Just show me a thumbs up when you access. Okay, thank you. Please start voting. Yes, received 2 responses, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 1 more. Okay, and I start my countdown from 5 to 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Clearing the form now. Thank you so much. While I clear the form, I would like to now request the timer to share the detailed report. So Toastmaster Manav, I'd like to invite you to the virtual podium for your report.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. I'll quickly share my report with the team. Can I get a thumbs up if screen is visible? Thank you. So as I've already introduced the timings in the beginning, I'll quickly go on to the next part. The prepared speeches, which were 5 to 7 minutes. Lokesh sir, you went a little overboard. You took 7 minutes and 41 seconds. Shravanti, you took 6 minutes 51 seconds. And Mehak is the one William Shakespeare would be really proud of. She was not 1 minute late. She was not 1 minute early. She took exactly 7 minutes, and a beautiful speech, I must say. Moving on to the second, which was the table topics. 1 to 2 minutes. I commend everyone for speaking for at least 1 minute and not crossing the 2-minute 30-second mark. So Shravanti, you took 2 minutes 4 seconds. Lokesh sir, 1 minute 11 seconds. Rashmi, 2 minutes 20 seconds. I myself took 1 minute 38 seconds. Toastmaster Uma, you took 2 minutes and 27 seconds. The third, which was the evaluation session, all 3 evaluators took a little bit over the 3-minute and the 30-second grace time. Toastmaster Deeptendu, you took 3 minutes 34 seconds. Toastmaster Anjana, you took 3 minutes 48 seconds, and Toastmaster Himanshu, you took 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Now on to something which I was not required to time, but I thought it's important to mention this. Our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Arjun, you took a whopping 20 minutes and 16 seconds so far. Thank you. And back to Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manav, for the detailed report. Toastmaster Dipendu, for your counter report.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. I'll share my screen now. All right. So today, as the counter, I had my task cut out out, and I don't have very many recommendations to follow to pass on to my friend Jimmy, who recently got rejected at an interview in Google. So first up, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Arjun. I observed sparse usage of us, and the crutch phrase that I could observe was "I mean." Now I think people use "I mean" when the speaker himself or herself feels that the idea cannot be lucidly explained. So this could be the root cause of "I mean." Toastmaster Lokesh was very fluent, both as a prepared speaker and as a table topic speaker. Toastmaster Jitendra was fluent by and large. Just one observation I could observe, I noted that he used the word the, moved to the our speaker. So the usage of this article the can be confusing for people who are fluent in English language as well. So something that Toastmaster Jitendra can just go to Google and understand where to use the article the. It would further fine tune his speaking skills. Toastmaster Uma, speech was peppered with us, so she definitely could work towards reducing the number of hours, probably by slowing down the pace of speaking. On to Toastmaster Manav, extremely fluent and certainly very inspiring. I learned a lot from him today. On to Toastmaster Shravanti, I could observe irregular pauses, and the root cause of irregular pauses is that we think while we speak, of course, but sometimes the mind gets in the way of the words that we coming out of our mouth. So in the table topics, I could observe some irregular pauses from Toastmaster Shravanti. Moving on to Toastmaster Rashmi, there was moderate usage of us, so really it wasn't something bothersome, but always have to strive to become better than the best. So she could look to reducing her R count. Toastmaster Deepthi, as usual, was extremely fluent. Moving on to Toastmaster Ranjana, wonderfully presented evaluation and was very fluent. Toastmaster Himanshu, I observed sparse usage of us, some irregular pauses, and the crutch phrase that I observed were "I mean" and "you know." And again, these crutch phrases happen when the speaker feels that the idea cannot be lucidly explained and goes that extra mile to explain it to the audience. I mean, and that these are the kind of emotions probably that hover in the speaker's mind when using these crutch phrases. So this report just is for awareness of all the speakers. Everyone was excellent and very good. Once we are aware of the tendencies that are there in our speech, we become better. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bendu. Moving on to our grammarian, Toastmaster Sagar, for your report, please.
A very good evening, everyone. I listened to all the speeches and everyone who has presented their respective craft on the stage. And please allow me to tell you please allow me to tell you some of the good usages of the words and the English language. There was a speaker who used the word rationalize. After that, subconsciously, after thrown, and get really mitigate, encapsulate. And there was one line, I mean, and there was one line which, I mean, I felt it's a good line. After that, eloquent, wise, temptation, glorious trend, jeopardy is the talk of the town. And I wish I and I wish and I wish I can have two hearts so that I can give one to the biryani. That's a very good phrase. And rushing downstairs, roller coaster emotion, flight or fight, and carving out, and after that, and impeccable. Those are the good usages of the words in the sentences. And now please allow me to tell you some. And now please allow me to tell you some of the improvement area when it comes to the uh, grammar. I mean, so I heard the speaker used "I'll not be able to start." In the best of my knowledge, it should be "I'll not able to start." I mean, be is not necessary here. I heard a speaker used I heard our speaker, end their speech. In the best of my in the best of my knowledge, it should be finish their speech. I heard a speaker over with all the guests. In the best of my knowledge, it should be done with all the guests. And I have further recommendations. I have further recommendations as well. I have further recommendations as well, but because of the lack of the timing, I'll just do one thing. I'll just note down all the recommendations and post it on our WhatsApp group. And apart from this, as far as the word of the day is concerned, I only heard the word of the day has been used by one speaker. I encourage everyone to use the word of the day more and more. And apart from this, I also heard the mispronunciation of some of the words. I'll mention the same in the WhatsApp group. And with this, I would like to hand over the state to the journal evaluator. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sagar, for your report. Okay, time for my report. And in the interest of time, let me quickly start, head down. So starting with the Sergeant at Arms, I'm glad that the Sergeant at Arms took over the stage just in time, recited or dated the mission statement, although and stated the ground rules very clearly, explaining them very well. So kudos for that. Only point is I would have liked you to not rush through the mission statement. So speak it out slowly at a pace that we can relate to. That's the only feedback that I'd like to share. Handing over to the president was done very smoothly. I appreciate the president for making the announcements, also for coining a new word for our meetings today, calling it a storytelling Saturday, sharing a reversal tip, a role reversal tip for creating humorous stories. I think that's brilliant. Thank you, Madam President. And she dutifully introduced all the guests. So a job well done. Thank you, Madam President. We're proud of you. Moving on to our Toastmaster of the day. I am totally mesmerized with the topic, the way the topic was covered, the flow, the stories, the incidents that were built in. I think you deserve a huge round of applause, Arjun, for that, because by the name or by the theme of it, you feel that it's going to be all about history. The Great Dictators, that's the theme. But you surprised us by using incidents or calling out incidents from what we could understand or what we could relate to. So kudos to you for that. You also made an effort to make it engaging. You were constantly launching your quick polls in the middle, which is great to hear. The only piece of recommendation that I have for you is that you called out 3 rules used by great dictators, but those 3 rules were not put out as possibly statements. I would have appreciated if they were posted or they were spoken as statements so that I could take them home with me. So at this point in time, I'm clear with the content covered, but I cannot recall the 3 rules explicitly. Those are the ones that I'm missing. So that's the only point or takeaway or feedback, however you want to call it, that I have for you. Otherwise, job well done. Everything was spectacular, right from the content to the way you invited the speakers. Very well done. Thank you. Coming to my tag team. I'll cover the R counter because that's the order I have my notes in. The Jimmy and John story was a brilliant way to introduce your role. Kudos for that, Toastmaster Diptendu. And you are an eloquent speaker. You just gave us a sample of that. The presentation of a report, of an R counter report using Excel format was another great idea because visualization is great, especially for a report which is talking about our pauses or R's and ums. You kept emphasizing the importance of an R counter role right from the start when you were introducing your role and also in the report. That is really brilliant. I truly appreciate it. I will urge you to please do a copy paste or a screenshot of this report on our group chat so that people can see and they can take it home as a reference material. So thank you. Moving on to the grammarian. The word was in line with the theme. Thank you. Kudos to you for that. Really appreciate it. You ensured that you kept on posting the word of the day so that it served as a reminder to people to use it. Unfortunately, people did not use it. So now this has two cues for you. Cue number one, what you could have done is when you were narrating or you were reciting your report, you could have urged any one of the participants in the meeting today to use it in front of you. Okay, so that could be one way. The other cue for you is that if people did not use it quite a lot, that means the word has to be simpler, or the word has to be in a form which is more relatable. Okay, so those are the two little points that I have for you. Otherwise, I truly appreciate the report you read out. It was in full detail, and I look forward to you posting the highlights on the chat group. Coming to the timer. The timer is no longer with us in the meeting, but I think an excellent way to present the report. I am truly mesmerized and enamored by the way the report was shared, and an icing to the cake was timing the Toastmaster of the day's time, which is not an easy task. So I will send a kudos to our timer, Toastmaster Manav, for that, definitely. The only thing that I think I want to recommend to him is that when he joined, he did not understand the context of the meeting, and he recited the rules of being a timer on that spot. So I feel that it's more about being present, just absorb the meeting, understand where we are at this point in time, and then pick up your chords from there. So that is what I'll give as a recommendation to the timer. Coming to the evaluators. How I evaluated the evaluators is I segregated, or I tried to map it to three main heads: structure, mechanics, and the conviction. So structure of your evaluation, mechanics that you used while giving the evaluation. Mechanics could be anything from props to hand gestures to facial expressions, voice modulation. And conviction is, were you able to convince were you convincing enough for the speaker to take your feedback home? Because that is what your job is. Right. So this is how I have tried to evaluate all evaluators. So evaluator number one, that's Toastmaster Diptendu. You were outstanding on the structure and the conviction part of it. The mechanics part of it is where I would like to recommend to you that the pace in which you delivered your evaluation was too fast. And I would urge you to think about bringing in hand gestures, voice modulation into your evaluation as well. Okay, because it was almost like a plain Jane newsreader. That is not what I would want to hear as an evaluation. Add some mirch masala or salt and pepper to it to make it sound more appealing. Presentation is what matters. So otherwise, brilliant, well covered points. Evaluator number two, Toastmaster Anjana. In your evaluation, I think you covered the mechanics part brilliantly well, because you made sure that you shared about voice modulation, juicy words and gestures, hand gestures. So you gave feedback about that. And the structure is where I would have loved to hear about you, love to hear your feedback, because the structure of the speaker's speech was in a flow. And I wanted to hear more about a more common, maybe a commendation on the structure of the speaker's speech. And regarding conviction, I think you did fairly well there. I will take your feedback home if I were Speaker Shravanti, and I would implement and work on the feedback that you shared. So structure is where I want you to build your evaluation or work a little more on the evaluation. Evaluator number 3, Toastmaster Himanshu. I think your as far as the structure and mechanics is concerned, I think you did it very well. You shared details about overuse of gestures. So you captured the mechanics very well in your evaluation. You also were in a structure. You also shared a good structure. You shared the evaluation in a good structure. Let me put it that way. Okay. So kudos for that. What I feel is that only the conviction part where I felt that you jumped too soon on the recommendation. There could have been more commendations at the start to get a buy-in of the speaker. Okay, so that is where, or the conviction area is where I would appreciate your evaluation to be more detailed. And with that, I come to our table topic master, Toastmaster Jitendra. I have no words for your session today because it was brilliantly done. What I truly appreciate is, starting from the first point, you gave us 2 options. You gave everybody 2 options, hook line and a question. Hook line in line with the theme of the club. That is brilliant. Then the next thing that you did wonderfully well and which stood out was that you gave a summary for each speaker. You brought out the learning that you could capture from each speaker. I think this only proves that you have brilliant active listening skills. So wonderfully done. And I think the job of a table topic master come table topic evaluator is to encourage and educate. And I'm sure everybody in this meeting today will agree with me hands down that on both forums, on education and on encouragement, you were stupendous. So thank you for coming over and doing the honors for us. Active listener Mehak, we are waiting for your questions. 1 or 2 questions just to test the active listening skills for the rest of us.
So I will quickly move on to the questions only. So question number 1 is, what name will Toastmaster Rashmi give to her elephant? Yes, Toastmaster Jitendra. Okay, Toastmaster Deepthi as well. Yes.
Jumbo.
Yes, you both are absolutely correct. So the next question is, what was Toastmaster Mana's favorite TV show?
Blacklist.
Blackjack.
Blacklist.
Yes. Yes, you're absolutely correct. The last question is, which country has the best primary education?
North Korea.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. Okay, back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mehak. I'm sorry, in the interest of time, I had to reduce your role to just 3 questions. Here, I send the form for the best role player and the best auxiliary role player. So please feel free to vote for both. Okay, quickly. All right, thank you. I end the voting in 3, 2, 1. Thank you. And while I share the results with Toastmaster Mehak, our presiding officer, I would like to conclude my G session by saying, or by sharing just 2 points. What we brilliantly did today was the structure, the content of the speeches, of the table topics, of the reports. I think we were brilliant. As a club or as a meeting today, we were really great on that. So pat yourselves on the back. Okay. The only thing that we have to include is timing. We are at 5:50. We started late, so we need to keep a robust check on that. So thank you. I will hand it over to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deepti. Now we quickly move on to sharing the results. First, I will share about the best. Let's start from the best speaker itself. Okay, so who do you think would be the best speaker? There were 3 speakers: Toastmaster Shravanti, Toastmaster Lukesh, and Toastmaster Mehak. So who do you think will be the best speaker?
Biryani.
Ravanti, biryani.
Well, more guesses?
Then Toastmaster Lokesh.
Okay, it's Toastmaster Mehak. Thank you so much, everyone.
Wow.
Now moving on to the best evaluator. There were 3 evaluators: Toastmaster Anjana, Toastmaster Himanshu, and Toastmaster Diptendu. So whom do you think would be the best evaluator?
Deeptendu.
Okay, more
Anjana.
guesses.
Might be tie between Diptendu and Anjana, ma'am.
Well, it's Toastmaster Anjana. Let's give a big round of applause.
Wow.
To her. Now let's move on to the best cable topic speaker. Giving you a cue, there were 2. There is a tie, so there are 2 best speakers at the cable topic session. So any guesses? Okay, let me invite to announce the winners itself. It is Toastmaster Lukesh and Toastmaster Manav. So give a round of applause.
Thank you.
Now moving on to the best role player and the best auxiliary role player. First is for the best auxiliary role player. Whom do you think would be the best auxiliary role player?
Agar.
Mano.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. It's Toastmaster Manav. Give a round of applause for him. Now for the best role player. So there were 3 role players: Toastmaster Arjun as K-Mod, Toastmaster Jitendra as Cable Topic Master, and Toastmaster Deepti as General Evaluator.
I vote for Deepti.
Jitendra sir, Toastmaster.
Okay, so it's Toastmaster Jitendra, the Cable Topic Master. Let's give a big round of applause to him. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending the meeting today. So first, let's quickly have a little feedback from our guest. First, I would like to invite Toastmaster Jitendra only to give a little feedback about how you like the meeting and what all things that you like.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I will make it very quick. So in one sentence, I will say this meeting was full of the entertaining speakers, courageous table topic speakers, and very calm and composed evaluators. So thank you so much, everyone, for inviting me here. And it was a great opportunity for me to learn from each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jitendra. We hope that you will keep joining our meetings in the future as well. Next, I would like to invite Toastmaster Rashmi.
Yes, I do agree with Jitendra. You are all very calm, yet you done such a splendid job. Especially Mehak, Dipti ma'am, Diptendu sir, everyone was great. So I would hope to learn from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rashmi. Keep joining us. Now let's have a feedback from Toastmaster Sagar.
It was a wonderful meeting as always. And once again, thank you so much for making me the part of your family. I had a good time. I learned a new word, which is the word of the day, which no one used. And yes, I would love to see your club again and again. I'll see you next week for sure.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sagar. Now let's invite Toastmaster Anjana.
Yeah, it was a great meeting. Actually, the thing is that I was busy today, got an urgent call from the client, but I was very much interested to be part of the meeting. So that is why I kept myself busy in listening from all the role players. So that is how the meeting was very good. Kudos to all the role players. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anjana. It was a pleasure to have you in the meeting today. Keep joining us. Next, we have Toastmaster Shravanti.
So I like the meeting very much, especially the speeches and the table topics. Yeah, I would like to join it again and again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shravanti. Keep joining us. Next, I would like to invite Toastmaster Uma.
Yes, I feel this is a great platform to learn and to share your thoughts. I enjoyed today's session. It was very informative and was happy to know how you people engage each other in this format. So nice format. I loved it. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Uma. Hope you enjoyed the meeting thoroughly and you will keep joining us in the future as well. Now, on this thought, and on storytelling Saturday, enjoy your evening. Will now be adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for
everyone.
joining, everyone.
Thank you so much.